What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bunny 3000. We are here. We are doing it big. It is snowing again up here in the Great Wizite North. We got Neverwinter going on all over the East Coast. Um, Man, I hate snow. I don't know about y'all, but I really hate snow. And this winter has really been like the uh most ridiculous winter ever. Um but we're here. I've put in my work. I am ready to go today. Man, this has been an amazingly long weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun this weekend. A lot of fun. What I want to do first off, though, I'm gonna put a little bit of some gameplay up here, some gameplay footage from a game that I've been getting down on lately. Let's see if I can put it up here real quick. We're gonna turn the sound down on that for you so that you guys can see it. For some reason, the crew is not here today. Not yet. I think they might be running a little bit late, so I figured I would get things going. Just to see whether or not they were going to come in. I was unable to get in touch with Makita and Jason, so we'll see. But your boy Bunny 3000 can hold it down. I'm going to get me some coffee real quick. But as you can see here, my good friends over at Undead Labs have come up with this Pokemon-esque game called Moonrise, as you saw there at the title screen beforehand. This is a little bit of the gameplay of me doing, maybe like the first 20 minutes or so of the game. And as you guys can see, it's basically the same little concept as Pokemon. You've got these little monsters that they call Solari and Lunari or Navi, I don't know. These little monsters, they're all different elements, water, rock, fire, plant, electro, thyro, all that other kind of stuff, right? So they've got all of those different kinds of monsters going on. And see if I can get a little bit closer to the screen here. And the concept, as you can imagine, is to, take these little Solari and you battle. You use them to battle other affected creatures or, I don't know what you call them. Not necessarily affected, but tainted. You know what I mean? So, they basically, I think this is Undead Labs' first little go at doing like a mobile game, I think. I think this is out on iOS. And it is currently on, I think it's early access on Steam right now. So go check that out. It's not done yet. Apparently, I'm supposing that they're going to add new features, add more content, something like that, before they officially release the whole game to the public. It's kind of set, the way the game is set up itself, it kind of plays like your typical mobile game. You start off kind of like this. It teaches you, does the first couple of battles, and says, hey, do this, jump into this. Click into this, and you basically end up doing the same thing. You'll end up with like energy, the amount of dungeons you can go into in a particular game, that kind of thing. Oh, it looks like Mr. Magnesi, Mr. Dirty Helmato himself, is going to be coming in here real quick. Let me see if I can get him in chow. Doopy doopy doopy. The connection. Oh my god, it's the gay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Running late, running
Oh,
late.
that's all right. Everybody know you want CP time. Let me see if I can get you. Let me see if I can actually get your face up on the screen rather than just a little piece. Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm gonna shift around a little bit here. Hope I'm not making anybody motion sick. Shift some things around. Oh, bunny's too big. Bet you never heard me say that before. Bunny too big.
That is just gross and
Bunny
nasty.
too big. Dirty Hamato. Bunny too. Put Grim Freaker over here until I don't know if Makita is coming in. I'm going to get rid of
Oh, I
this.
thought she was here.
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't seen her as of yet. Let me see here.
Oh, yeah. Battle. Is that what you playing?
No, actually, that's just a recording of what of an early access game that I got. This one company. You remember that company that well, not company. You remember that game I kept trying to get you and Makita to play called um oh man, this is State of Decay.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I
they
played. I played that.
yeah, they started, they right before they got their major Microsoft deal or whatever. They took their, they tried to do a little bit on the whole mobile gaming side of things,
Okay.
and they did this little game here that they're actually porting over to PC.
Okay.
And and what I'm kind of showing right now is really just like the first 20 minutes of some of the gameplay there, but it's basically like their mock-up version of Pokemon, basically. You've got little monsters that you capture and bring in, and they're based on different elements. They grow, they have different strikes, different attacks, they evolve. You boost up their experience, you boost up your own experience. For some reason, as a trainer, you've got little fireballs. You're throwing little Hadouken fireballs at all the little monsters and stuff, and but yeah, it's actually pretty decent. I ended up playing like a good 3 or 4 hours of it last week, um, in a stream. It was kind of one of those things where once I finally got past the tutorial phase and it was really just getting into just playing it.
Right.
It was one of those where I was really curious to see what new monsters I could find as I went along, and then what it took to actually upgrade them, what would happen if I upgraded them. As I was finding new monsters, some of the new monsters had different attacks. Like if it was the same little plant guy, that I saw, and they'd have little stars next to him, so maybe that guy was a little stronger than the one that I had. And then I would check him out and he would end up having completely different attacks than the guy that I had. So they've got enough variety in there. Like if you find the same monster that you already have, that there's a chance that monster might be better or slightly different, so that there is variety in what you actually find and stuff. So, I kind of got lost in it for a little while. It's a pretty decent game, pretty decent game. It's set up just like your other free to play kind of games. You or not free to play, but it's set up just like your typical mobile game where you can do everything for free. But if you want extra energy or extra money or whatever, you pay $2 for extra money, $2 for extra,
Dude,
gems.
that's one of those concepts I am floored by. It's like basically why stop calling for the play. It says extended demo, you should call it, because by the time you start having fun,
No, it's genuine. I mean, kind of like this other game that we'll talk about later that just got released on the Xbox One. But no, this is really true free to play. I mean, you don't have to pay anything in order to enjoy this game. You can play this game through all the different levels with all the different monsters without paying a dime. You know, it's the way they have it set up. If you do pay the money, you know, it just accelerates like the amount of experience or the, you know, amount of stuff that you can do in one
well, I mean,
particular
that doesn't
game
sound
session.
bad if it's like that. You know, where
Yeah, that's
I
really
don't have to
basically all it
pay
is.
for. You know, if I wanna cut a little corner, then I can pay. But if I don't want to, you know, I can just,
You
I
can
can
just wait till later, right? That's
wait
how
till
they have
later.
it set up. They don't have it set up where you pay to get a monster or whatever. You basically can like pay to put new clothes on your guy if you want to, but you don't have to. You know, it's set up in that manner. You don't have to pay in order to be good or do well in this game, unlike
Yeah,
some
see,
other games.
yeah, that's kind of where I get a little bit of, a little jaded by some of those games, because it's just like, like Killer Instinct. I was so psyched for that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be free to play, yeah.
Nah,
And then
that's not free to play.
yeah, and then you get, well, but that's how they were marketing.
That's free to, yeah, that's how they were marketing, but it's not free to play.
No,
That's
and then
definitely not free to play.
you're like, hey, I only have one character. Oh, boom.
Yeah, and they switch and that's what gets me too. They actually switch the characters that you have access to, like every month or every quarter or something like that.
Oh, see, I was so disappointed. I didn't even know they did that.
No, from my understanding, you know, when they started the game, I forget who was like the trial, who were like the trial. I think it was like a couple of characters were your trial characters. You could choose between two or something like that, right?
Right.
And then I think they switched up the two that you could do later on at some point, but I don't know. But yeah, that's in the grand scheme of things, that is not what you would really consider a free to play game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not. Let me tweet this out real quick that we are on live, ladies.
Oh, you didn't go live yet?
No, we're definitely live. I just tweeted out.
Tweet. Just to let everybody know, if you're already there while Bunny is tweeting and skeeting on your feet.
Ew.
My favorite baseball game is out today.
NBA. Oh,
Stop it.
Freaking
Stop
baseball. It's
it,
cricket. Cricket 2015.
Okay. MLB The Show is definitely live in bumping. Thicket is loading it up as we speak. Okay. And I was going to do some Saturday streaming, but because I love y'all so much, Dirty is going to do some Twitch on Thursday night, and I'm pulling an all nighter. So, I'm gonna be on there probably about 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 on Twitch. Dirty Helmet. Just look me up by that. You'll find me. I was gonna call it Dirty's Room, but I said nah. People might get the wrong idea, baby. So just look it up. MLB The Show 15. From what I can see of it, it is friggin' fantastic. So if you're a baseball fan, come and watch. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna be fun. I'm probably getting stomped out. I'm going home team. I'm doing Yankees all the way.
Ew.
All right. For you Boston haters out there, don't care. I think that's gonna be you know what? That's gonna be my first game.
Yo,
Boston
does
game.
North Carolina have a baseball team? Do they have like the Carolina Mudcats? Do they have like AAA teams in there or something?
They do have AAA teams in there. So
well, then I challenge you to use the Carolina Mudcats.
No,
Don't use the Yankees. Use the Carolina Mudcats.
I can't use the Carolina Mudcats. I don't even know if Carolina has a team, but I know they do have AAA teams.
Yeah, that's their AAA team. It's the Carolina Mudcats.
So, no, that's not happening. Can't do it. And, no, baby, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Boo.
So
Nick is a hater.
Yeah, I am. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not playing with that squad. Okay. If by any chance you get a
Yankee
PS4 by
boo.
then, you jump in and you can be the Mudcats, and I'll stomp you out for free.
Oh
How's that?
yeah, of course you're gonna stomp me out. Freaking New York Yankees against the Carolina Mudcats. You're an asshole.
But like I said, it's gonna be for free. I won't even charge you.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
Really?
really,
Wow. Ladies
just
and gentlemen, that
just
is
like that.
that's true
For
friendship right there. That's what you
free.
call true friendship, yo.
For
With
free.
SHIT in the ship, yo. Oh man.
Uh,
So what else you been digging into? I know you've been jonesing over the MLB The Show for quite some time.
yeah, I've been
I
waiting for
think
that.
this
That's
is
one.
I think my
Yeah.
little recording here is done. I'm gonna put something else on for us. Oh no, it's not. I just got a little bit more to go. I'll put on
Nah.
the other game
MLB
after
The
this.
Show is. I've been waiting. A couple game waiting for MLB. And of course Witcher 3. I just
Oh
actually saw
yes,
some.
yeah. I heard it's
Some
gonna be
good.
over 200 hours long.
Yeah, I just saw that today, man.
Yeah.
200 plus hours. So, get your hearts ready for The Witcher 3, which I think, I mean, if that, I just hope it's not disappointing because I love that series. I just,
Get your Dragon Age done, people, or
yeah,
you'll
get
never
it done
finish it.
or you'll never finish it. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been hardcoring on Dragon Age because I know
Okay,
once Witcher
please don't
3
say
comes
that
up,
again. That's disgusting.
what?
You've been hardcoring. Ew, that's just no. You
It ain't
just
like
been
it ain't like
spending a
that,
lot
man.
of quality time with.
I have a lot of quality time with Dragon Age. I have. I've been putting in some sick hours on this thing
Mm,
because I really want to get to a point where I'm comfortable with that. I've done enough in the game.
hmm
You know what I mean? Because from what I read, the game's never going to be over. I mean, you could just quest it up until you know till your
Yeah,
heart's.
yeah, especially with that dang DLC. When I saw they dropped DLC last week, I was like,
Yeah,
no,
and
don't
that's
do
supposed to be what
it.
is that like another what 15, 20 hours probably there.
Probably.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at some
Almost lost my
serious.
mind. I was like, don't do it. No, I'm not ready.
Yeah, I want to pick it up, but I'm afraid to because I really just don't want. Well, you know what? You still got what like another month and a half to go before
hmm
any Witcher. So I'm I may get it because I do want it, but I'm not sure like if I want it. Because you know how it is with RPGs,
You
man.
want it. You
You
want it.
do, but
You
you
just
just get
want. You just see. This is what it is, Jay. I
but
know
you get
exactly
caught
what it
up,
is.
man. You get
You
caught
want
up.
it. You know you want it. You know you're gonna get it, but you don't want to get it too soon because you know you got a lot of other stuff that you want to play and you haven't even finished that one. It's gonna take you so long to finish it.
Right.
You're just not ready for it. That's all. You know you're gonna get it. You
Dude,
just
and you know
don't know
what? I'm
when.
upset with myself too because I got I bought Dying Light and I like the game. I mean, I
Mhm.
still the little fetch quests still piss me off, but like, like I got the game. I've been enjoying it, and because you know how that game is,
Yep.
you got to pump some time into it to
I was
actually
playing
get
some
it.
today.
Yeah, you got to pump some time until you get to some good effects. So like I'm playing that, playing Dragon Age, playing that, playing Dragon Age, and I still like NBA. So every once in a while, I'll squeeze a couple games and I'll go online, stomp somebody out real quick, boom, 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 boom. And then, I don't want to add now I got MLB, which I definitely want to get play. I'm fiending for that. And I'm putting too much stuff on my roster. So, and I just got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, and
Yes.
just not like in game wise, just like with home and other stuff too. So I'm trying,
I hear you.
I'm gonna be coming to work half asleep, blowing up servers. Just
Dude,
kidding.
that's what I've been doing like do for like the past couple of months. It's just it's redonkulous. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It
Right.
really is how much stuff is out, and this isn't even like this isn't even like the main push.
No, it isn't. And
There's
then
a lot of stuff.
right, there's a lot of stuff, and then I don't know about you, but I mean, I may break down and get the Elder Scrolls Online. Maybe.
Dude, you know what? I'm of the opinion that we should just do it on freaking PC.
Say word. I'll do it on PC.
Because it's free on PC. We got enough on the console stuff right now to mess around with. And I think we can work it out on PC. We both have decent PCs now. We've been trying to figure out stuff to do. So we should just break down and do it on PC, dude.
I say word because I already have it installed on PC. The PC. I just got to get the updates. Yeah. So that's kind of it. Why are you laughing?
Hours. Probably. I bet you. It's going to be hours where you just sit there going, oh, my God.
I don't think it shouldn't be hours. I hope not. Because I have, like I said, I got most of the, I was in on the beta.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking maybe, maybe a couple more gigs.
Okay, maybe 8 hours.
I don't know, a couple gigs more to go, and then
I'm just saying, if it's anything like freaking, what was that other damn game that like took forever?
DC
I won't say
first.
Yeah,
oh my God, I hate that. Every time you go online,
freaking Sony, they have like the worst servers in the universe. So anytime you have to do updates or download stuff, it like takes forever. So I think that's all that was.
Actually, you know what?
Maybe Bethesda.
You know what? I can't complain. Let me tell you, PS4 downloads, fast, dude. Yo, those jammies move.
All right, well
they're a lot better. I gotta say that. Like PS3, it actually sucked.
We talking Elder Scrolls Online. We not talking Sony Johnsons. We talking.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying PS4 it moves. I can't really complain about that. It actually goes. So
that's good. So that means they put some money into their service. Good. Fantastic. Yes. I wouldn't know. I ain't got no PS4.
When you do, you'll see. Take that money.
Damn it. But on that same note, since we already putting that on our docket, we already saying, hey y'all, we getting ready to do some Elder Scrolls. So what we're gonna have to do, we'll have to do. Let's go ahead and do it up right now, Jay.
Do it.
We are going to set aside some time either during the week or during the weekend where me and you just always play freaking Elder Scrolls Online. When are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? How are we going to set it up? Where we just schedule it so that people know when we're going to be playing it and, without having to wonder or whatever. And I'm going to put it on my little, Johnson too.
All right. Well, here,
put it right here.
Here's what I got. Okay.
What you got?
My best nights, probably for me, to do some massive clacking.
Okay.
On Elder Scrolls would probably be Thursday nights.
Okay, Thursday nights.
So I don't know what your schedule look like, but after I'm finished with kids, because wifey got her meetings, so boom. Thursday nights I can rock out.
Yes. Online. When are you gonna start?
When am I gonna start playing Elder Scrolls? I could probably get it loaded up. I would say easily. Probably by tomorrow night.
Dude, I'm talking time. I'm not talking day. I'm talking time.
Oh,
time,
like to actually play that?
Yeah,
I thought you meant like loaded up on my computer.
I'm saying we streaming this. We doing it big. We going all out. We like
9 o'clock.
Okay, so you gonna start at 9 o'clock Thursdays. All right, so everybody, Thursdays, 9 p.m. on Dirty Hell Motto, and I'll probably put this on the Geekswagg site rather than my site.
Except for this Thursday, it's going to be baseball night.
No, that's fine, because I can get it going without you, and then we just keep it going for reals.
Yeah, because baseball Thursday night.
That's no big deal. I'm just setting it up so that we have something. Ooh, let me do this. Daggone it, I said edit. Edit, go to. Okay. Reminder. Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, edit. All right, we're gonna set this thing up to be repeat weekly every Thursday
Elder Scrolls.
for
Elder
5
Scrolls.
years. It's long. Put it in there just every Thursday, unless otherwise we say otherwise. And I'm
That's
gonna
right.
say
Because Thursday is going to be a good streaming night. So if there's nothing special coming out, it's just going to be Elder Scrolls. If not, it's going to be some funky.
Chunky Monkey.
Right.
Okay.
Rubber dubbers in the tubbers.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in. All right. Oh, damn. 11.
Is that your eye something?
Who?
Is that your eye something that you touching there?
My eye something? No, huh? This is my my galaxy.
Galaxy going to the
Galaxy. Okay, so it's in there. We got
Nice.
scheduled. I'm gonna make certain that I go through, set that up as well, so we'll be ready for it. And of course, just as you were doing that, let me see how's my little play. Yeah, my little gameplay thing is done. So
Yeah, it's finished.
yeah. Let me show you the other thing, and this will kind of bring us into some of the recent games that we were going to talk about. Let's see if I can find it. Can bunny find it? Ah, here we go. Neverwinter. Okay, so this game actually, it's kind of interesting. I learned about this. One of my boys from that I used to do a lot of gaming with, a lot of tabletop gaming, a long time ago. Carlton, my boy Carlton. We used to do a lot of D&D gaming back in the day, and so I was like, "Yo, look, I finally got my gaming PC. We gotta play something. So I ran down the list with them. I was like, "Yo, so what do you have?" I was like, "Do you want to do some Elder Scrolls? Do you want to do some World of Warcraft? Do you want to do some Hearthstone? I was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "What do you play?" He was like, "Well, I used to play." He was like, he used to play Elder Scrolls Online, but there was nobody on there, and he wasn't very impressed with it. He thought it was boring, so he stopped playing it. He was like, he used to play, what was the other one? The old Neverwinter Nights games, long time ago, but of course those were just old. And then he was like, I started playing this other game that's a free-to-play game. Well, he was playing Dungeons and Dragons Online for a while, but that's actually old. It's probably like 7 or 8 years old. So he was like, that's not fun anymore. So he was like, well, what about this other new game called Neverwinter that essentially just came out a couple of years ago? He was like, I started playing that, but of course he didn't have anyone to play with on that one either, so he kind of stopped playing. I was like, dude, I'll jump on that with you. I was like, is it really true free to play? He was like, yeah, you just jump in there. You don't really have to pay, but they've got it structured, the way they. Well, I'll talk about it more in a little bit, but it's true free to play, and it's kind of an action, like a third-person action RPG kind of game, right? So it kind of plays out, I guess you could say, kind of like Dragon Age, I guess you could say, except it's a MMO. And you only control one person. You don't control like a whole party, of course, because you're in an MMO. So, so I picked it up and I started playing. I streamed it actually last week for a few hours. Not for a few hours, dude. I got lost in this game. I started playing it, and honestly, I really couldn't put it down. After I finally got down to where you could actually do pretty much everything, and I understood, where
What's
everything was.
what's pretty much everything.
Well, the way that they have it structured when you start the game is just like with any game. You pretty much have your tutorial missions where
And
they,
you, what you
they
pick like you pick your character and all that fun stuff.
yeah, you create your character, you customize your character, you create the character class and all this other kind of stuff, right? You select all the stuff for your character. And then, they drop you in on a mission, and you go in, and as you're doing the mission, they say, okay, this is how you talk to people. This is how you pick stuff up. This is how you equip the stuff you pick up. This is how you switch weapons. This is how you use your attack. This is how you use your secondary attack. And they go through and they do this in like one mission. Like one kind of like short mission that basically gets you up pretty much to level 3 by the time you're done with the little tutorial mission, right?
Right.
So, and in the first few levels or whatever, it flies by. It only takes maybe like 30 minutes or so before you get out of there, right? So you do all of that stuff, and then you finally get to an area where, you fight your first boss. You beat your first boss. He's pretty simple. And then you get to the open area where all of the other players are, which is in a big town. I forget what the name of the town is. Is it? And I should know because it's in Forgotten Realms, and I used to read Forgotten Realms books all the time. So all the D&D heads out there, it's definitely on the Sword Coast, on Forgotten Realms, in all the different cities. Baldur's Gate, Mythdraenor, Luskan, all those different towns that have been in a lot of the D&D games. They're all in this one, of course. And so you get in this town, and you see all of the other players on the server running around doing stuff as well. And what you do, of course, is they have other quests, of course, for you to continue to do that basically show you how to do more of the game. So like one mission will send you, to fight some orcs. You go, you beat up some orcs, you come back, and they say, okay, we're going to give you this, and then they give you like your secondary clothing if you don't want to wear your adventuring clothing. And then they come back and they say, okay, once you get to this level, go speak to this person. This tells you how to do all your skirmishes, all of your daily dungeons. And they're like, okay, once you do one of those, come back, talk to me. And then, and then it opens up some more stuff, so that every level that you go up to maybe like 11 or 12, probably like 11 or 12, every level that you go up, it opens up a new feature or a new portion of the game that you'll be able to do, as you progress through the game, so that you aren't lost, so that, so that instead of dumping you in there and just saying you better figure it all out yourself, they basically set it up strategically so that every level they're giving you a mission, you're fighting something, you come back and they say, oh, you're done with that mission, let me give you some experience, some money, and oh, hey, guess what, this is another portion of the game, or this is another feature of the game that your character is able to do. Here's how you do it. Go talk to so and so, and then you go talk to that person. They give you some money, some experience, and the whole time they're always rewarding you. They're always giving you equipment, experience, money, and something to that effect. Even if you're just going from one person to the next to talk to them, So they're always rewarding you, and you're always like, ha, yes. So
I don't know what I did, but I got something.
Exactly, and that's a good feeling, because unlike some games, what was that game? Unlike freaking Destiny, where it felt like, every time you did something that you weren't getting anything for all the shooting and stuff, except for some experience here and there,
right.
which at a certain point you don't even get experience anymore, and you start getting pissed off, right? In this game is different. You fight all the stuff. But
why's that dude running so fast? He was out.
Yeah, that's actually the ability for the character that I first used is a dwarf. He's a great weapon fighter. So they use
No.
two-handed weapons only. But they're, every character has like a dash or a dodge kind of maneuver, and for this character it's just a sprint. My other character that I have, it's is an elf, so his dash is like a kind of like a shadow, blur, where he just moves out of the way real quick. He dashes to the left or right really quick. So each character class has like a different kind of dash maneuver or whatever that they use.
Okay.
And so they've got a lot. This thing is pretty deep. Now I can't say too much towards World of Warcraft because I never played it. I was always turned off by having to pay to play something on a monthly basis. So I never got into playing World of Warcraft. I never played it before. Me personally, if I was like to, and this is just me personally, I could get into this, number one, because I've always liked Dungeons and Dragons, and this realm is in the realm that I used to read a lot of stories. So some of the characters and the towns and stuff that you visit and that you encounter in this game, I know and I'm familiar with. So I could see myself putting some serious time into this. And what was hilarious was I spent a good, I can't even remember, 8 or 9 hours or whatever playing this game all weekend, right? And then all of a sudden on Sunday I started going around. I looked on the website, and guess what they said on the website?
What?
They said, "Oh, this Tuesday, this free-to-play game is going to get released on the Xbox One." Ka-chunka. I was like, "What? Damn!" So I went on. I jumped on. When was that? Monday. Downloaded it, and this morning, I had to take time off this morning to take my son to the doctor. So this morning, before I was taking him to the doctor, I was clacking my second character on my Xbox One, and it kind of looks dated a little bit on the PC, but there's so much content to it that it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But on the Xbox One, it's nice and shiny. It looks crisp, it looks clean, it looks nice. I was all happy and stuff. And dude, I was going off on the Xbox One. I was playing it for like 3 hours on my second character or whatever, just getting loose, watching all the other little characters. And it was nice because everybody else was pretty much at the same level that I was. So there weren't people running around that were like level 60 with like flaming dragons running around all over the place. Because like you can see here, there's guys that have mounts and all these little followers and stuff already that you're like, "Oh, dude, I want one of those." And you're like, "Jeez." They're like level freaking 60 and all this other kind of stuff. And as you can see here, here's the map of a lot of the different places that you can go to.
Can you how many players can you have on like together?
I was in a party that had how many people? I think you can have up to 5 or 6 people in a party, I think, because they have, and I don't know how this is structured in World of Warcraft, but they have like these missions that they call skirmishes and dungeons. And what you can do is when you want to do them, there's like a menu that you can go to that you see here, and it says available queues, and these are the different missions that you can that are available at any one given time. And what you do is you click join, and it puts you in a queue. And what you can do is, if you're in a party, it'll take your party and it'll put your entire party in the queue. Or if you are just doing it by yourself, if you're just on by yourself, you can jump in the queue yourself, and it'll take the first 4 or 5 players that are also in queue, and it'll try to match you guys up a bit, and it'll just throw all you guys into that mission. And when you do those missions, once you complete those missions, those are like really good missions to complete, actually, because once you're done with them, they give you really good equipment, and they give you the specialized currency. because just like in every free to play game, they have special currency and special coins, special things that you can get, and when you get those special currency, you can use them to buy epic gear, epic mounts, and all the, you use it to upgrade your weapons, to upgrade your gems, and all that other kind of stuff. So you do all these special missions to get that kind of currency, whereas your regular questing and everything will just get you gear, will get you money and experience, and occasionally it'll get you special currency, but you're always guaranteed to get special currency when you play like the skirmishes and the dungeons and such. So Neverwinter is pretty fresh. I mean, it's free. You can definitely spend a lot of hours in it. You won't have to pay for anything. I know, like the way they like the payment schedule, or not schedule, strategy that I kind of saw in this game was the way they try to trap you is you'll be playing in a regular mission and you'll see a treasure chest just pop out of one of the enemies that you just defeated, and you go, oh snap, son, I want to open that. And you look at it and they go, oh, you want to open this, right? You got to pay $2 to open this chest. And then they show you like all the equipment that can come out of there. Yeah. Right. And oh, hey, what's going on, Stofers21? What's going on? Some LORT fam popping into the chat room. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, Neverwinter, it's, you don't have to open the chest. You don't even really have to keep it. But if you want to open it or whatever, you pay $2 to open it. But you don't even actually have to pay the $2 to open it.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Like on Friday when Ezel was asking Craig for $2. Hey, yo, give me $2. That's all I can say.
Hey, $2, man. But yeah, you don't necessarily have to pay the $2 to get the key to open it, but you have to get a whole lot of the special currency and convert it into the kind of money that you need in order to get it. But it just takes a long time to do that, right. Which is why most people, they just fork out the $2 to get it and open it. But they give you a decent amount of these chests throughout the game, because they really, of course, you think about it, they really want your money, because most people are really going to end up playing the game and not want to spend any money. So they always put these little tidbits and stuff in the game to kind of get you to, pay a little bit of money here and there, so they have their ways. They almost had me, because I've got like 40 some odd chests of these things, and I'm like, dude, I want to open these things so bad. And I was like, dude, if I actually paid money to open all 40 some odd chests right now,
give them like $50 right off the bat.
Pretty much, yeah, I'd be paying $50 to open up those chests. And on the actual PC game itself, the other way they have different bundles that you can buy. Like if you wanted to just get in the game and get like a starter bundle, or an expansion bundle, they had like special classes and special races that you can only be if you pay the money. And and they vary from like $30 to like 30 to 80.
Well, from what you're saying about the game, unless you really want to be one of these super special, characters, just do the free to play,
Right. And I mean, the amount of different character classes and races that you can be by default is pretty good. So it's not like you only have 4 or 5. It's not like you have like 3 classes and 3 races to start off with. You've got a lot of classes and a lot of races that you can be. Well, I won't say a lot. A decent amount of classes and races that you can be. And all the different races have their own they have their own inherent abilities and stuff. that are that differentiate, just like in the Elder Scrolls, these little abilities and stuff. Um, Stouffer's 21 asks, is it more or less pay to win? Honestly, I've really only played the game for like three. I've only been playing it for like 3 days or so, and I've only played the player versus player arena maybe like twice. So I haven't really gotten a good handle on the people that have been playing. There are people that have been playing this game for 2-3 years or so, and so they're like they've got all kinds of characters and stuff. I haven't really been able to see whether or not that is what differentiates people that have paid or people that haven't. I'm still not 100% certain. It'll take me a little bit of time to figure that out, but honestly, I mean, just from just from me playing it myself, I can get loose in this game and feel like I'm a badass without having to pay any money. I'm getting decent equipment. I'm finding some pretty good stuff in the missions. I mean, yeah, of course you can pay the money and get a lot of some really good equipment, but the way they have it structured, you won't have to really you don't really have to do that. Let's see. So it's more of a bonus to pay, not really a pay, and you just beat everyone. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's the key, because the equipment that you get, yeah, you'll have all the different bonuses and stuff like that, but it still does have a bit of the action. I don't want to necessarily say skill, but you still have to time stuff right. Like if you dodge certain physical attacks that you see coming, you can. There is a little bit of skill to it when you're doing the melee stuff. One thing I did notice though in the player versus player arena, the magic users, they devastate people. So it's really hard to beat experienced magic users in this game. So like I was using my little dwarf that you see here. This is a recording of one of my gameplay, and when I got in the arena, I thought, hey, they kind of pair up all the levels between like in the arena I was in, they paired between like level 10 and level 13 or 14. So they keep the level ranges pretty small, so they aren't really unbalanced. And when I got in there, it was like the guys that were melee users were just getting their asses handed to them, because all the ranged attack characters in the game were just destroying them from a distance. It was like they couldn't run away, so they, it was like you had to pair up, which is really the way you're supposed to play it anyways. You do it as a team, but if there was like one-on-one, two characters going on at each other, the magic user will, pretty much always won, because a lot of the spells and stuff would have lasting effects where they would just continuously drain your energy, even if they aren't attacking you at that time. They don't have to aim it. It's just like the second they cue it in, it's like just draining you regardless of where you're running from. So it was like a piss off for a while. So, but yeah, magic users were devastating people in my gameplay. But that was just my experience, and that was the first time I played it. So I'm certain if there was somebody smarter and more of a veteran at playing Neverwinter, they probably could get loose and have, because there's a lot of different skills that all the different character classes have that you can use. So like my little great weapon wielder right there, he can like leap across the screen, and when he lands on top of people, his attack actually regenerates him, so it's like life stealing. So all the different characters have it. And there's another one of those little treasure chests that I just picked up that you have to pay $2 to open. But they have a lot of different little skills that and if you see down here at the bottom, on the bottom, the little row down here, all these little squares with all the different icons in there, those are all the different attacks that I'm queuing. And as you use them once, it takes time for them to regenerate. So you can't just keep using them. You have to wait until it regenerates. And then like your little super attack is right here in the circle. And as you build up this cube or this octagon, once you build it all the way up to the top, you know, and you use it, you know, then you can finally use it. But yeah, my character is pretty decent. I mean, you know, he's a, I don't want to say he's a badass necessarily, but he whenever I'm doing a skirmish or a dungeon, I'm always in the top 2 or 3 characters in the dungeon, regardless of how high of a level the other people are, because he's definitely a tank. I just go, you know, I jump at whoever's there and I just tear up whoever's there. Luckily, so far I haven't had any bosses that are like magic users, so I've been able to do some serious damage and everything. So it's pretty cool. And of course, you know, it updates your character, the way your character looks as you put on all your different armor and all your weapon and stuff. So, you know, it doesn't keep it too generic for you. But yes, when to beat magic, you have to rush them and overwhelm them, because if you hit them with the right attack when they're casting, it interrupts their casting, and they have to start over. So yeah, you definitely have to. You gotta rush them. You gotta blitz them real quick and do like attacks that knock them off their feet and that kind of thing, so that they have to start their casting over again. So that's the way you beat them. You know, and the great weapon fighter that I'm using there definitely has those kind of attacks. So, you know, when I get better at learning how to use the character, I'll probably do a lot better. I might actually spend maybe $5 and open a couple of chests. I'll spend like.
You know what? Then you probably get some bogus stuff that you're probably a high level that you can't even use.
Oh, hey, I don't mind. If I say that I'm gonna be playing this game for a while, which I probably will, then it'll be worth it. You know, as long as I get something that I can use and not something that's like for another character class, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Because that's the one piss off, getting something that's really high level, that's really great, and it being for some other character class. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I've liked the way the loot structure is in this game, and you can see right there, one of the little items that popped out on one of the enemies was red. That basically lets you know that item is for another character class. So it does a really good job of the loot in this game. You know, it doesn't give you a whole lot of equipment that you can't use for like 5 levels. You know, it keeps the loot pretty close to the level that you're at. So a majority of the loot that you find, you can use, and then you might pick up 1 or 2 here and there that you won't be able to use until like the next level or 2. So it does a pretty decent job of, you know, not pissing you off by giving you something uber that you won't be able to use for 10 levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate that. Sometimes every once in a while you'll find something good in one of these games, and it's like, you know, it's like, right, it's 5-10 levels ahead of where you are, and you're like, oh my god, I can't use this, and then you get so pissed, and by the time you actually get there, you found something better, and you've been holding on to this one item for like a week.
Yeah, for like a week. You're like, oh yeah, just let me get 3 more levels and I can get this. And like, oh, hold on a second, I just found this.
Exactly.
It's even better than that, and I can use it now. But no, it's the loot structure is pretty good on this. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. They have if you look behind me, the guy right next to me is actually what they call a follower or a companion or whatever. So once you get to level 11, you can get a follower. You can level that follower up. You know, there's different
now
classes.
What's that little 2 that keeps popping up? Is that just XP for running around?
No, that's actually hit points. So some of your equipment that you find, there's a skill or whatever called recovery, and the more recovery that you have, the more health will regenerate as you just walk around.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, and as you can see, it's only like 2 and 6 and stuff. I mean, right now, my character at this level that my character's at, his total hit points are like 4,000 or something like that. So that 2 and that 6 that you keep seeing pop up, that isn't doing a whole lot for me right now.
Yeah,
It's almost
yeah.
doing nothing. You see all those numbers flying around right there. It's like
I
76,
see
78.
nothing.
It's like 76, 80, 79. You know, dude, that 2 or 3 that's popping up over my head isn't going to do a whole lot. But
They ain't doing
over
it. They ain't
time, it
doing it.
will. You know, over time, it will if you don't, if you let it do its thing. But yeah, you can level up the other little companion, um, and all that other kind of stuff. And you can. There's a little bit of as that character levels up, it'll open up slots for you to put equipment on that character also. So it's like once you first get him, you won't be able to put a whole lot of equipment on him, but as you level him up, you will.
Right.
And you'll actually be able to choose what character class you want your companion to be also
Troll.
initially. And then later on, of course, you can buy, if you want to, you can buy of different character classes and races. You can, as in pay money or pay in-game money for different companions and stuff. And I think you can have more than one at a time. So, it's almost like you can have the whole Dragon Age thing going on, but you can't control those companions. They kind of do their own thing. I'm not 100% certain how effective they are because the dude that I picked was a healer, and he was doing a good job healing me. Because when I was doing missions by myself, before I had him, I was almost dying sometimes against some of the bosses. But with the healer that I bought, that I got, he keeps my health up pretty high for most of the match. But he can get preoccupied if somebody's attacking him, and he may, he'll be attacking somebody else, and you'll be like, oh damn, I need to get this orc or something off of my companion so he can heal me. So you kind of have to pay attention to what what they're doing and what they're struggling with if they're not helping out at a particular time or something like that. So
Yeah, I noticed that with Dragon Age, the same thing. Like when you're I'll have my healer, I'll set him to just, I give him all the greens and tell him I want you to keep healing, and if I'm die, revive me. But after that, you can do what you want. And then when they get lumped up in a corner, nobody get nothing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh yeah. So you gotta really protect them, because once they're down, you're screwed.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, I mean, but if you think about it, this is an MMO. Neverwinter is an MMO. Oh, hold on, Stofers. Stofers, I'll check. But yeah, it is an MMO. So the real intent is for you to go in there, get your friends, find some friends, join a guild, so that every time you go in, oh, I think I know who that is. Oh yeah, that's my boy Carlton. 210. That's my boy Carlton. He was adventuring with me on Sunday. Hey, what's going on, homie? But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. We had a real good time Sunday on Neverwinter. We definitely got to do that again soon, real soon. But yeah, Neverwinter is one of those. You get in there, you really want to go in there with friends, go in there with a guild, because the missions, even when I was up at like level, the difficulty does kind of get. I don't want to necessarily say high, but it goes up with your level in a really good pace. So like there's some areas that if you go by yourself and there's nobody around you and you aren't watching what you're doing and you're just running around, you can get kind of overwhelmed. It's like you have to, when you see enemies or groups of enemies, it's like stick with that small group and defeat them before you move on, because if you try to move around and run around and try to defeat them, more will come and soon you'll get overwhelmed. So it's one of those where it will up the difficulty a slight bit to the point where you'll find yourself using all of your skills to take down enemies and monsters and stuff. So it works out a little bit better. My boy Carlton knows a little bit more about it, I'm certain, but he's gonna learn me on it as we play a bit more. I definitely have to catch up. I have to catch up to him. He's been playing Neverwinter a lot longer than I have, though. A lot longer. But, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is Neverwinter. Goodness, we spent a lot of time on Neverwinter. I apologize. I did want to
And apologize.
Yeah, of course I apologize. I wanted to get to some other stuff real quick also. Well, we'll save the Battlefield talk probably for next week. Well, actually, you know what? We'll get into that a little bit. No, we'll save that a little bit for next week because I kind of wanted to get into some other stuff. We'll see if we have some more time to come back to that. But yes, Neverwinter does look fresh. And yes, for those of you who don't know, Xbox One just got it. It's an exclusive on Xbox One, free to play. So if you have an Xbox One and you're looking for something new to play and it's free, that's actually free to play, Neverwinter, go check it out. It's already free on PC, so if you've got a decent PC, you can go on there and check it out as well. So one of the other little bits of news for the whole gaming community was Spotify and PlayStation finally got their act together, and they finally unveiled their little partnership recently. So all those people with their Spotify playlists and all that other kind of stuff can actually use that now on their PlayStation for free, which is actually pretty fresh.
Yeah, it is. I loaded it up last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave it a quick little run through, and all my playlists were there from the stuff that I have on my PC. So
yeah, which is pretty dope. So now when you're playing your MLB The Show, you can throw
Spotify it up.
Yeah, Spotify it up. And, do it up so people don't have to sit there and listen to you breathe all heavy while you're doing your Twitch stream.
Bunny, I'm your father.
No.
En español. Bunny, soy tu papá.
So yes, if you got that PS4 going, you gotta boot that up. Download.
Yeah, did you see that new thing?
Check it out.
Jay-Z trying to get his little streaming music thing on.
Well, yeah, actually, we can talk about that now. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, actually, if you and let me pull the picture up real quick because it's not just Jay-Z. It is actually a host of other musicians as well that have a pretty decent share. That have a pretty decent share of the ownership. So I think it was yesterday, right? So I'm going to put this right over the gameplay real quick.
Yeah, and which I thought was interesting is, and I didn't know, but the artist is that I guess they don't make as much money as you think off these.
Oh no, they make chump change off of streaming services.
So really getting this, and it's a paid for service. So I believe I think what they're saying the regular was like $20, and if you want the premium, it's like $40.
Actually, it's the other way around. They were saying that their regular, they don't have a free service at all.
No, it's not free at all.
It's not a free service. They said their standard definition, which is essentially equal to Google Play and Spotify, is $10. And they said they're high.
And then the other one is free.
Yeah, they're lossless.
That's $20.
They're what is it? FLAC. I forget what that stands for. But their lossless high grade sound is $20 a month.
Yep.
So, they essentially, and as you can see here in the picture, Usher, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Madonna, Deadmau5, Kanye West, Jay-Z, J. Cole. They also had Alicia Keys. Over here in this other picture, I'm gonna put it over my face, over the bunny's face. Beyonce, Daft Punk, Jason Aldean, Jack White. I don't know who that guy is. There's Alicia Keys. I don't know who she is, but you know, they all came out on stage and they were all signing the contract. I forget what the contract was for, but it was like I think part of their ownership or whatever on the service itself. But yeah, their whole I kept seeing people tweeting to them asking them about percentages and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know economics. Econ was one of my worst classes in college, but the way they kind of put it was 75% of your subscription fee goes directly to the artists and their labels. So, you know, if the artist signs up with Tidal and they don't have a label or whatever and they get, you know, 20 million streams or whatever, however much of the money that Tidal supposedly makes from that 20 million streams, 75% of that money will go to the artist.
Right.
So
I also found some other things interesting too, because you know they're talking about all of these other free subscription services. They only get like a fraction of the pennies from the
it's
advertiser, right?
yeah, it's so small, it's ridiculous.
It is
Because I
small,
know,
but hold up. If you look at the amount of people that are on these things, so I look at it like the Superman 3 concept, right? We're just going to take a fraction of a penny, a couple million times a day, right?
no, I won't
So
say you aren't gonna get a couple million times a day for most artists. Your big name artists, they'll probably get a few thousand or so, you know, a few
I
hundred thousand a day,
that's
but
the number
millions,
that's the number I got to look up. So
yeah,
you know I got to
because
figure
I'll put
out
it to you
what
this
they're
way.
actually kind of getting, because like okay, a fraction of a penny sounds small, but like if you do it in abundance, you know, like I don't know the exact number. I think thousands is probably low,
Well,
and
I'll put it to you this
the
way
reason why I say
because
that is because it's the amount of subscribe. Like if you had like 100,000 subscribing, I say maybe you get 1,000 plays. I could understand that number, but when you have like 50 million subscribers, and you got all these artists out there, I think you're getting a lot more than thousands a day,
well,
or even a
what you
week,
got to
or
recognize though is though you know that thousands or whatever a day in terms of streaming, for the most part, is gonna be your top tier artists. Your mid tier and your low tier artists, they aren't getting those kind of numbers. And
and
even
here,
because I
right, and
remember
that's
there
true.
was this
But
one
like
article.
here's another.
I'll have to look for it because I
But
remember.
like with Jay Z services, I'm almost betting that they're putting upfront cash, so that they can get a return on investment there. Now, how many low tier artists are going to be able to afford that? That's another thing. So, like, they got a lot of. I think it's. I don't
So
know.
here it is. Here it is. I've got the
We'll see
article.
how that works out. I'm a little skeptical about that
So
already.
here was an article that I saw on Business Insider. Right, this was in December. Okay, it was basically talking about for the first quarter of 2014, and you remember Happy, right? Big time song. You can imagine that
Yes.
got played millions and millions of times, right? So it was
It's,
saying on
it's
Pandora
leaks.
for the first quarter, it got streamed 43 million times. Okay, so that's a
So
lot, right?
right.
43 million over three
Even if he
months.
got half a penny, he just made $20 million.
Nope. Listen to how much he actually got from 43 million streams in the first quarter.
No, well,
2,700 bucks
that's
in
less than fraction.
publisher
That's
and
less than fraction
songwriter
of a penny.
royalties. That's just from him being the songwriter and the essentially producer or the artist or whatever. So that's two cuts. That's not just being the artist. That's songwriter and artist.
That's
Twenty
less than a
seven
fraction.
hundred.
That's like a tenth of a penny.
That exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why and that's why so many artists are getting bent over the whole streaming service thing, because there are a lot of there's a lot of streams, and those companies, they're getting so much of that money and the artists are getting very little. which is why, from my understanding, that's why they kind of set up this whole title thing, because they were like, yo, this is ridiculous. We're bringing so much money to these companies or whatever, but the people that are getting those big time numbers for streaming, they're getting less than pennies.
Yeah, and yeah, oh, dude, that's way, man. That's like taking like a freaking speck off a penny for $2,700 for
Yeah,
that
and
amount.
and actually, what I want to do, I wish I could play this on the actual show, but I was reading something. Let's see, Aloe Black was recently on what was it? What is that show? I think it's Bill Maher's show, right?
Okay.
And he was actually on there. I think how Bill Maher has one person on to interview by themselves, like at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Well, he had Aloe Black on there for the beginning of the show for the interview, and what he did was he basically talked about copywriting and just the issues that musicians have trying to make money the way things are today. So because if you think about it, the way artists make money today is a lot different than in the past.
Right.
Few people, people aren't buying full albums anymore. They're just buying singles. And then on top of that, a lot of people aren't even buying. They're just buying these streaming services, and they're just streaming all the music, and they aren't even buying any of the new music. So, so like for instance, Kendrick Lamar, he just like broke all kinds of streaming records on Spotify with, To Pimp a Butterfly, How to Pimp a Butterfly, when that released last week, right? And I'm telling you, I bet you he's laughing at the amount of money that he'll probably end up getting from that, because he's probably going to get less than, he'll probably get less than $10,000 from all that record breaking, that ends up happening on Spotify for that. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of, album sales that he actually gets, as well as, other kind of sales that he actually gets, because a lot of people are experiencing that album through the streaming services now.
Yeah.
Which is like defeating the whole purpose of iTunes or any other kind of tunes. It's just getting rid of it. It's bypassing all of that. You're getting to listen to it whenever you want, wherever you want, for as long as you want. Almost for free. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, they're pretty. I mean, those services they don't really cost you anything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the money, I guess, from the subscribers that are listening to it for free, they're the reason why they're able to is because of all the different ads and stuff. So they're getting commercials in there, here and there, blah blah blah. There aren't that many, but they're still getting commercials in. So it's corporate money that some of these artists are ending up getting, because I guarantee you a majority of the people that are on Spotify are probably on there for free.
Yes.
So
yeah, because I mean, like, I don't buy the Spotify paid account to get the premium stuff, because most of the stuff I do, I can get it for free.
Right.
And, I mean, I don't need the hardcore services for that.
No, I don't either. And I used to pay. I paid for like a couple of months, like maybe a year, a little bit over a year ago, because I wanted to because at first what I wanted to do is I just wanted to take my entire library and have it online all the time on the cloud, so that I could access my special playlist with my
your playlist whenever you want.
Yeah, my playlist with some of the songs that I had that weren't, because I've got a lot of songs that are like live versions or bootlegs. Well, okay, not bootlegs, because that's illegal.
Leg boots
or very custom made songs that are free. Yes.
Say word, son.
I got a lot of mixtapes and stuff that that they don't have on a lot of these streaming services. So a lot of those songs I have on my playlists are from those different sources. And so I want to have access to them without having to have my hard drive or have it on my phone. So at that time I was like, oh, I'm just going to pay this, $10 a month. I'll have my entire library on there, and I'll be able to listen to that same playlist that I just made on anything. And it was dope for a little while, but it got pricey. And I was like, because in the grand scheme of things, you got your Netflix, you got your you got your Crunchyroll, your Hulu.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on.
Your GameFly, your and we'll get into this a little bit later, but your WWE Network, you got your
yeah, I saw you watching that. You can't get over that stupid WWE, can you?
Dude, I got hooked again, and we'll get into that later, but that you've got all these different subscription services nowadays that you pay $10 a month for, or Netflix and all this other kind of stuff, and it adds up, dude. It really does. And that's what it ended up being. I had
because I paid for Amazon.
Yep,
Netflix,
I paid for that for a while.
And Hulu. I mean, Amazon, it's a yearly, but it pretty much evens out to the same thing monthly. Mm-hmm. So you got to kind of assume that's the cost, but like
I forgot your PS Plus. Your Xbox Live, Plus, you got to pay those also. It's
my Xbox Live is about to be up too. Mine, I got like another month to go and I'm done. I got to renew. So I'm looking. Actually, I did see some cheap stuff out there on Amazon. If anybody's interested, if you're looking for Xbox Live, they got some discounts there.
Rubber dubs.
Yep. So I'm about to hit them up so I can get like for like $40, $39, whatever, and do that because I don't want to pay the $60.
It's hard. So I got to make certain. What I'll do is I'm gonna put that Aloe Black interview in the show notes later for people to listen to, because dude, I honestly I feel bad for musicians nowadays. I really do.
So do I. I mean, like, I know they do pretty well with, their sales and stuff like that, but you know what? They do work hard to put their stuff out there.
And let me put it to you this way.
I mean, even artists, if they charge you something not too expensive, like the Jay-Z thing, I don't think the $10 is worth it, but it's
not yet. I think they're going to end up adding some more features to Tidal that are gonna try to bring people over, because right now, like you said, there's nothing in that really is gonna woo a lot of people unless they're just audio freaks. Audio freaks will go nuts over this because they're because this is the way it's supposed to sound.
Right. It's gonna be beautiful or whatever. Or if they offered you some, what I'd be interested in
custom content. They have got to
not even so much that, but
no, definitely that's the way they're going to get people, and that's kind of what they alluded to when they talked about
it. But you know what? I think you're going to get that from like younger people, older, the people that actually have the money. That can do it.
Yeah.
Won't. But here's what I think that would get you for that $10, or if you want to go premium, go get that $20 joint. You know what? Not to be able to download everything, but like not just to have it on the streaming service. Mm-hmm. Let me be able to get a couple of MP3s out of there that I could put on my computer where I don't have to stream. Now that I'd be interested in. So like say one,
I don't think you can do that on any of the services, right?
No, you can't.
I think you can. You can download playlists and stuff from Save Offline, right? You still have to. You still have to.
But you still got to be online to do it.
You can save an actual playlist offline so that you can listen to it offline on like Spotify if you pay for it.
Right, but what I'm saying is you still have to have some kind of connectivity. When I'm talking about, give me the physical content, where I can keep and put on my. Hey, if I have an iPod or I want to put it on my, my Zune, like those exist, right? And that's what I'm talking about, where I can actually get a copy of it. I know people don't do it anymore, make CDs, but like, you know what? You can still do that.
I'm still analog over my car still runs on CDs because I can't I can't connect it up to anything. I can't even get satellite radio on my car, so
Yeah, well, you
not
know
yet.
what? Don't feel bad, you
But
know.
whatever. That'll be my next
So
car. Next couple
like
of years, I will.
like that I'd be interested in where I could take that content and keep it for myself. You know, say whatever it is, once a month will, you know, not everything because $10 is too cheap for everything, but like once a month, give me I don't know, say give me a handful of albums I can download. And
Yup.
I get to pick one a month.
Hmm.
For you know what I'm saying? And then maybe for my ultra premium service, give me 2 or 3 albums a month that I can pick for that $20.
Now, you know, there was a service that I had a while back that was almost like that, but it wasn't a streaming service. You remember that one that I was telling you about, eMusic?
Vaguely.
Yeah, the way they had that structured was beautiful. I used to love. I missed that service. The only problem I had with it was that to me, eMusic was one of those kind of services where you paid like maybe $20 a month and you got like a lot of albums. I think I got ended up with like between 6 and 7 albums every month for free. Well, not for free, but you know, they gave you credits for you to use to download full albums every month. And I ended up getting, I think it was like between 6 and 7 albums every month for like $20 off of that service. And the only problem I kind of had with eMusic really was um, you really had to be a someone who studies music and knows your artist, because they had mostly independent artists. They mostly had back catalogs for like a lot of your older artists and stuff like that. So you weren't gonna find like the new Jay-Z or the new Beyonce album or something like that, but you would find like, you know, they might even have a few mixtapes or something like that on there. So you know, they'd have a lot of independent artists. They'd have a lot of like overseas artists and stuff like that on there. So if you were looking for like popular albums or pop albums, you weren't going to find it on eMusic. But if you were trying to find like, you know, that one jazz artist that you thought you heard that was on so and so's album, that, you know, oh yeah, so and so, he played saxophone on, you know, on Common's last album or something like that. Yeah, he came out with a CD, you know, da da da.
Takifa.
Right, Takifa might be on there, right? So you know, eMusic was great for that. You know, they allowed you to do that, and they had a lot of, you know, they had like a really, really big library, but it wasn't a very popular library, at least not in my opinion. But I loved it because like all the little independent artists that I was into at the time, dude, I was scooping up all their stuff. I was like, scoop, scoop. It was great. I was loving it when I had it. And then of course it was one of those things. It was one of those that got axed when I got into a money crunch. You know, it was the first subscription that I had to cut. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, those are tough. Yeah, you gotta like, oh, gotta go. Bye. Love you later.
But real quick, also on the music thing, what was I gonna say? Goodness, lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something about another subscription service. I can't remember. I'll probably come back to that. But let me move on to some of the little TV stuff before we get into the wrestling, because I gotta talk about this. iZombie. Actually, I finally got a chance to check out both episodes of iZombie that came on CW.
And you wanted to choke yourself, right?
No, it was good. I was surprised. I was really surprised.
Dude,
I thought it was gonna be horrible. I thought it was gonna be corny. I was like, boo. But it was good. I really and it was really the way that people described it because when I interviewed Malcolm Goodwin, you know, he was kind of I asked him, he was kind of in the same boat when it came to knowing about the comic book beforehand.
Right.
So do you know what the comic book was about?
I'd never heard of it until I saw the preview for it.
Right.
And
So
I was like, this is retarded.
Well, yeah. Trust me, the show is actually a lot better than the previews. You really can't get a good grasp of it until you actually watch an episode. You got to give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. It's Vertigo. So Vertigo is like the publisher. And the whole concept is basically this one girl is, she works at a hospital. She's a nurse, and she's like really really learned. She knows a lot, and she's trying really hard to become a doctor or something like that, studying really hard, got her residency. And then all of a sudden she takes a chance. She's kind of nerdy socially, and she was getting engaged to this really nice guy and everything. She was all about her work, really focused. So it was rare for her to go to a party. So she goes to this party. The zombie outbreak kind of breaks out on this boat that she's on. um she gets scratched and killed. Well, I guess you could say killed or whatever. She gets scratched and pushed off the boat. And she blacks out when she gets pushed off the boat, and she wakes up and she's in a body bag, and she comes out and she's a zombie. So she runs off, and the weird thing is that I guess that incident was isolated. So it wasn't like that. It wasn't like the zombie outbreak just kind of pops up and then all of a sudden zombies are everywhere. Everyone's running around. Everyone's losing their mind. It's like it's still happening. And the way the concept is that she's able to maintain being, I guess, more of a person, just really pale, but she can still think and be focused as long as every once in a while she has to eat somebody's brain. She has to eat brains a little bit. She doesn't have to eat it every day, but she has to eat brains a little bit, because if she doesn't, she gets progressively angry, meaner, and then she goes into the more, regular zombie where she just gets real angry and just starts, wanting to kill somebody, right?
I'm gonna eat you.
And the thing is, though, when she eats somebody's brains, she actually is able to, she's actually able to access.
Suck up their juices.
No, yeah, that too.
She's that's what I thought you did. Right, she can like get their thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, their thoughts and all that other kind of stuff, right? So she works.
Yeah, suck up all their juices.
She ends up working in the morgue, right? So she uses this ability and plays herself off as a psychic, so that she, eats their brains, uses that information to help out a detective who kind of wonders something. He's kind of keen on her and is pretty certain that this whole psychic thing is a joke. So he doesn't. And Malcolm Goodwin is playing.
And I guess he can't tell that she's pale and everything.
No, he just thinks that she's like a goth chick, because that's kind of how she does her makeup. Like she's a goth chick, right? So he doesn't believe the whole psychic thing, but Malcolm Goodwin is playing the detective, that is running around with her. So he's trying to figure her out and what her angle is, but he's a new detective, so he's just trying to solve cases. So he needs her to help him out so that he can solve cases and get his reputation up and everything, since he's a noob. And they kind of played the concept of the show off almost like, did you ever watch Veronica Mars?
Nope, that's another one I skipped.
That one, the way that was kind of played off was, she was the daughter of a private investigator, and she was solving mysteries and stuff herself, but she was a teenager also. So they kind of wrapped up her life in all of these mysteries and stuff that she was solving. So they kind of give you that inner dialogue. This is what she's thinking. This is that kind of thing throughout the show. And that's kind of the way they do this one. They give that inner dialogue. I'm a zombie, but I'm learning about why I'm a zombie. She can't have sex, because if she has sex, then she, too much adrenaline will make her rage. And if
I thought
she
you said like her cooch was gonna fall off or something.
No. She'll start rage. She'll go into that zombie rage, and she'll want to eat whoever it is she's having sex with. So
the whole Black Widow thing.
Yeah. So she, decides to break off her engagement to her fiance. They don't understand why and all this other kind of stuff.
Because I want to eat you.
Right, exactly. So and anytime she gets in danger or something like that, she rages. So she has to find ways to control herself before she eats somebody before they're actually dead or something like that. So it's interesting kind of see how she tries to hide it from everyone around her, and how she tries to hide it from Malcolm Goodwin's character, the detective and everything. So it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna check it out for a bit longer to see what it's like. It's lighthearted. It's actually
I saw it on Hulu when I was catching up on my Flash, and I'm like, oh my god!
Just watch the first episode. Just watch an episode. You might like it.
I don't know if I can take it.
It's only 30 minutes, dude. It's 30 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. It's half an hour. Okay, because I didn't know if I could do a full hour.
I don't know. Is it an hour? It might be an hour.
Yeah. I would think it would be an hour.
Yeah. Check it out. Check it out.
Just for you. Powers. I stopped watching that. They've had like 50 gazillion episodes.
I decided not to try that on your based off of your server. I was like, you know what, Jason.
It's not. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I
kind of hard honestly, to swallow.
Yeah, first 2 episodes are painful, very painful. So it's I couldn't do
it. Can't do it. Say.
Yeah, but Flash is just getting freaking fantastic, man.
I'm pissed off, dude. Every time I just can't.
You can't. You don't like it?
No, I can't. Unless I pay for Hulu, I can't watch it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had Hulu. My bad.
No, I don't have Hulu. That's the problem. I don't have Hulu, so I can't. And that's what pisses me off because, like, when I was watching Empire, right? Even if I didn't see it, online, even if they didn't have it on demand or something on the cable box,
go like the ABC and watch it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Empire was on Fox, so Fox has their own
streaming thing, right?
Yeah, their own streaming thing, Fox Now. So I could go on Fox Now and you can watch the entire season. Now they don't do that for every show, but for a lot of the shows, you can watch the entire season on the app, right? So you would figure like some of your this is the first season of a particular show or something like that they would be like, hey, we want as many people to get into the show as possible. We're going to let you watch the whole first season at any time during the first season, as long as the first season is going on, right? That doesn't happen. I went on what is it, CW? Because that's what Arrow and Flash is on, right? CW.
Yeah.
I went on there and it's not, the whole season isn't on there. It's like the last 3 or 4 episodes are on there.
Oh, so right, you can't binge it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, it pissed me off. I was like, why?
Because you're gonna miss so much. Like if you do that, you're not gonna get the full effect of the show, and that's a shame.
Yeah, my boy Carlson said that if I go on the actual website, I might be able to see it. But that doesn't make any sense. Why put it on the website and not put it on the application? On your actual app, the CW app.
Actually, you know what's so funny? When Hulu first kicked off, they were like that.
Really?
Yeah.
On the website, you could, but on the app, you couldn't.
Yep. It's weird. It was just like if you wanted to catch certain things, you'd have to go on the website. You would have a lot more content. I mean, I think it may even still be like that now. You may be able to get slightly more if you go to the website.
So I might have to do that. I might have to just break down and go to the CW website and try and see. But that's annoying. I want to watch it on my TV. I don't want to watch it on my computer. Right.
Well, do you have a smart TV by any chance?
No, I have a dumb TV. I'm broke. My TV is done. It's dumb. Yeah, I'll have to wait till it hits Netflix, but I don't want to wait that long, dude. I want to watch it now. By the time it comes out on Netflix, I'll be marathon watching something else.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you or anything, but like, I mean, it's moving at a very good speed because they, like a lot of the other shows that, like Walking Dead. I mean, really, they could actually really sum up a lot of their stuff in about 2-3 episodes. They could. For the season, just based on how their stuff goes, and they draw it out and they give you, onesie twosie here and there. Like sometimes, I love the show, but sometimes I just feel like falling asleep because it's like, okay, I really don't need to care about, how Rick feels today, or you know what I'm saying, man, go shoot some. Let's slap a zombie upside the head. So
Oh, man.
I don't know if you ever get like that, but I get like that every once in a while.
No, I'm into it, dude.
No, I mean, like I
I
said,
love
it's
all the
not.
little tidbits because I'm
I don't
waiting
really
for
care for it.
I'm waiting for those little moments when they start hinting at Negan and when he's gonna come in and just f everybody up. That's
And
what I'm
that's
waiting for.
yeah. See, I'm okay with stuff like that, but what
Mm,
I'm there's really times when they have these drawn out conversations, and it's just so like really you gotta stop. You gotta stop. Come on, wrap it up.
it-
I want to get the wrap it up box, but like what I'm saying with Flash, I mean Arrow is starting to get like that, which is
mm,
is to a degree it's getting me a little upset because they're starting to do the dragging out thing. The first two seasons were just go 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 go. I mean like dude, they packed in 22 episodes for those seasons and they were good. I mean, you weren't missing, you know, like if you didn't watch an episode, you might be missing something. Like you could miss like two episodes of The Walking Dead and watch the last one and still, you catch me up. You good. And that's
yeah. My boy Carlton was saying there's a lot of setup this season, and I think even like
but
with
it's
The
been
Walking
like
Dead,
that.
that's the same
It's
way.
been
They're
like
doing a
that.
lot of setup for stuff.
And what I'm saying is they can wrap that up a little bit faster. You know what? I don't need
Well, it
right. I
depends
don't.
on what they're actually gonna unleash, though. That's the thing.
But what
They're
I'm
doing
saying is
setup for something. Sometimes if they want it to be significant, they got to do the
no,
setup.
those aren't
They
the
can't
things
just
I'm
unleash
talking about. I'm talking about the dumbass conversations that they have sometimes. They're just like they're not needed.
it. Mhm.
Like you can really say, you know what, this conversation doesn't really need to happen. And that's I think that's kind of what I get upset at The Walking Dead. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me, but like that's the one thing I don't like about the show because
Oh, I
like
love it because I pick it apart. All the little conversations and stuff like that, I pick apart. But yeah, Carlton said like season two. Yeah, season two was garbage. I couldn't stand
yeah,
season two. That was too
right.
much.
And that's what I mean.
There was
Like
nothing in. There was almost nothing in season two
until like the
of
last
season two. Yeah.
right until like the last like episode. You
Yeah,
know what
that
I'm
was a
saying?
little too much setup. That whole season was a setup.
Right, and like I said, those are the things that drive me nuts. And
Yeah.
with Walking Dead,
They kind of
because
I think a part of that though they kind of had to bring in and introduce the characters, and it's like they had to give
you don't need that much
something to
backstory.
some of the
You
characters.
really don't. You don't.
Well, they
You
got to
don't.
give FaceTime for some of the characters because they
I
got to pay
know.
the bills.
They gotta pay the bills, but yeah, but like what I'm saying is you don't need that much backstory. I think they draw it out too much in some cases. But like with Flash, man, like they get to the point, man. I mean, like, and that's what I like. They don't give you 3 episodes just to get one point across. Your point's going to be across that episode, and that's kind of what I like about it. And I hope they keep that up. And that's what Arrow was doing for a long time. Now they're starting to get on the drag out tip a little bit there, which is, stuff like that. It starts to lose me. That third season for like these shows always seems to be that pivotal season where it's like whether it's gonna go someplace
It's
or
either gonna start getting worse or it's gonna be like, oh my god, yes,
exactly.
Yeah, that
Like-
is typically the season for most of it.
for most of them. Like Fringe did that to me. Lost did that to me. Heroes, they all got me, bro. But I don't want to spoil it for you. Flash, man, really like it. I gotta give props.
I
to
gotta go on the website and try to see if that's the answer. And try to
Yeah,
see
I
if
hope
can
so,
get
man.
into
I
it.
hope so because it's really good, man. I mean, like I look forward to watching it. Like tonight, like I can't watch it Tuesday nights because like I don't even bother watching it because or try to get it because I don't want to go through too fast. So I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night. I'm gonna watch it after I watch Arrow tomorrow night. And really get into it. But I can't. It's just well done. I mean, it's well done. There's mystery behind it. It's you get a little suspense. You can get a little bit of Law and Order in there. The actual dude from Law and Order is in there too. So it's good. I definitely recommend it to anybody that. I mean, I love the Flash, so it makes it even better.
Okay. So before we get out of here, I know you're gonna roll your eyes, Jay, but I gotta talk WrestleMania, dude. Gotta talk WrestleMania.
You know what? Before you go talk WrestleMania, and I gotta torture myself.
Torture yourself. What
I
you
was
gotta do?
drinking a lot of water.
Ew.
So start that WrestleMania, and you give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back.
And of course, you see how he do me, people. You see how he do me.
I
I
gotta
said,
go,
"Oh,
Beth.
I'm gonna talk about it." He go, yeah, I gotta pee.
I
I'll
do. I
be
really
right
do.
back."
Please believe me. I'm not lying. I wasn't with that hope.
Oh man,
Right.
even right before we get into that, but my man Urek actually asked a question whether or not either of us watched Castle. No, I want
I
to.
do. I am sorry. I'm a loser. My wife loved Castle. I love Castle too. Nate Fallon.
I haven't had a chance to see a whole episode, but I want to see it. I like the concept. I love Nathan Fillion. I love him. He's awesome.
Yo, he's actually really funny in Castle, and
He's
I
just funny.
didn't.
Period. I'll watch him in anything.
I didn't actually think that was gonna work out, but
I didn't either, but I
my,
keep
my
hearing a lot of
wife,
people say
she
it's
got
great.
me into it, and
Mhm.
every once in a while we'll binge watch Castle. The only thing I don't like now is, and what I thought was really good chemistry, because he always had this sexual tension going on with Beckett,
Right.
you know,
Yep. Mhm.
and now they're married, so it's kind of like
So now it's gone. It's like, oh.
yeah, it's
So
like
it's
Falcon.
kind of
It's
slowing
like
down
Falcon
now.
Crest now. I don't know if you ever watched Falcon Crest when you were a kid.
Yes, I used to watch that. Yes.
Yeah, so or Heart to Heart, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So you got that kind of vibe going on. So,
Oh, they married him. Okay, so I don't
but
know.
it's still a
But
good show.
still,
I mean,
I haven't watched it, so I got to check it out.
dude, the
A lot of stuff to
episode.
watch.
I'm usually not into like detective shows like that.
Mm.
But I get down on some Castle, man. I'll be Monday nights, bro.
Oh, they said actually, Urek is saying that it's coming to a close pretty soon.
Yeah, it's coming.
Probably
It's
why.
yeah, I think it's 7 seasons. I think.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure. I know it's either 6 or 7. It's around there somewhere.
Wow, that's a lot of seasons.
But it's good though. It's actually really
Yeah.
good. It's really good show. You know what? Castle, big ups.
Did you go potty? Go potty, man. Hurry up.
Yeah, I gotta go. My
Go
brother's-
potty while I get this going.
Yeah, get your WrestleMania. We're gonna talk. You know what? I can talk about Hulk Hogan. That's about it.
Exactly. He was there. We could talk about that. Yeah. Hall of Fame show. So he's going. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did break down and buy WWE Network for $9.99 for a whole month, which is actually interesting. They have it set up on that network now where you can pay $9.99 for a month. You can cancel anytime. And so that's what I was going to do. I was going to buy it $9.99, just buy it for this month so I could watch WrestleMania, which is what I did, and then just cancel right after. But I might keep it for the whole month and just see. But it's actually a pretty good deal. I went on there, I started looking around. Dude, you can watch every single WrestleMania, every single NWA, WCW pay-per-view event going back to the 80s. You can watch all the little specials, all their little stupid shows. I don't watch stupid shows. I go back and watch all the old WrestleManias and stuff, right? That's what I was doing like all day Saturday. And they had a lot of little special shows and interviews that went on Saturday that kind of
Coming
built
out
up.
feeling about 10 pounds lighter.
Ew, nasty. But Urek was asking who my favorite wrestler is. Well, actually, right now, currently, I'd probably have to say Randy Orton. He's my favorite wrestler.
Dude, I don't even know who Randy Orton is.
He is the son of the big, what's his name? Cowboy Orton. I forget what his real name. Something. Or I know you remember the dude that was like Cowboy something Orton back in the like golden age of WWF, right? But the biggest thing was on Saturday they always have the Saturday before WrestleMania, they always have Hall of Fame now, right? So, and I was telling everybody that I bought the little $9.99 WWE Network thing because I was like, oh, $10 to watch WrestleMania, I can afford that. So I did that, right? And the network, it allows you to watch all of their past episodes, all their past pay-per-view events. So it's like you could watch the very first WrestleMania if you wanted to, all the way through. And so that's what I did. I was watching some of the old WrestleMania matches and stuff. And then the Hall of Fame event was live on Saturday night, I think it was. and they inducted the Bushwhackers. You remember the Bushwhackers?
Yes, I do remember the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, yeah. They inducted him, Kevin
Both
Nash.
of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Because I mean they were always a tag team the whole
Yeah, they
time
were
they were
tag
wrestling
team all the
together.
time, right?
Um, they inducted Big Sexy Diesel, Kevin Nash. Um, they inducted a girl who was this girl named Alundra Blaze. She was back in the WCW days. Um, they inducted Rikishi.
Don't know who
Um,
that is.
they inducted what was the other guy? Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior. Both of them are dead.
Yes, I was like, yeah, those guys. I thought they were dead.
Yeah, and it was sad too because and dude, I almost cried. It was like Ultimate Warrior when he got inducted last year, right? So he came on Raw and he gave this really really nice speech, about Warrior Spirit. And it was actually kind of interesting because Warrior was kind of one of those guys that um, kind of fell out of favor with the WWF, and that was kind of why he got fired. I think because he was using and he had a lot of drug problems and a lot of other kind of stuff, right? So they kind of kicked him out and they really didn't talk about him or bring him back for anything. So it was interesting that they've been mending fences or mending bridges between some of these wrestlers that like left and then came back, or like left and went to another wrestling federation and then came back or something like that. And so he was doing like this speech on Raw like one day last year, and then like a day or two after he died. And so it was interesting to see his wife come on, and she gave this really nice speech, and they had this award that they made called the Warrior Award that they're going to start giving out every year, and they gave it to this little 8-year-old boy that was like a big WWE fan that died last year. And so they had his father come on and accept the award, but the boy was a really big fan of one of the other wrestlers on the show that was called Daniel Bryan. And have you heard of this little, I guess, get up or celebration called the Yes Movement, Jay?
No, never heard of that.
Okay, so like when the San Francisco Giants actually won, like during their press conference, because a lot of them are like big wrestling fans, they had this thing where they would take both hands and they just keep going, pushing their hands up in the air, going yes, 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 because one of the other wrestlers, Daniel Bryan, that's what he would do when he comes in the arena. He goes yes, 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 and the whole crowd does it with him. So it's one of those things that gets the crowd into it, right? So Daniel Bryan was really big because he was one of those guys, I think, that was on one of those WWE reality shows, I think, and he didn't make it. He got cut, and he worked really hard, and he came back, and they allowed him to be on the regular bill, which is actually pretty big because most of the people that try out and get cut, they definitely don't ever make it back. And he came back big because the crowd really liked him. But he was always so small that no one ever thought they would ever make him, like a world champion kind of competitor. But they gave him like a move set where he did a lot of he would do a lot of holds and stuff like that. So he would do like figure four leg lock or something like that. So he would actually give him a chance up against other guys that were like a lot bigger. So because he was always the underdog, a lot of the fans always got behind him. So he was always like one of those kind of characters, the underdog everyone liked to cheer for him. So this little 8-year-old boy, well, he died when he was 8 years old. This little 8-year-old brain cancer kid, he was a really big fan of Daniel Bryan. So they had Daniel Bryan come out and he gave his speech. And it was it was really really moving because of course, with Warrior's wife out there, she's in tears. She met the little boy also, and she was very impressed with him. And then of course the boy's father comes out there, and he gives a really nice speech and everything. Thanks all the wrestlers, thanks to WWE, told a couple of stories about the kid wrestling with Triple H and Daniel Bryan and everything. It was just really well done. I was really impressed, and it got me reminiscing about a lot of the older wrestlers and everything. And so my son Jaden was sitting there watching it with me, right? So as they were showing a lot of these clips of all the old wrestlers, they were showing like how the Bushwhackers would come in with that little weird, that little weird walk or whatever, right? And they would lick each other, and they would, dude, it was just freaking hilarious, the stuff they used to do back in the day, right? And then they would show clips of the Ultimate Warrior and how he used to just, he'd be on that steroid rage and just run into the arena and just slide into the mat and just run around.
Actually, I actually like the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. I mean, I go old school back with the guys that I like, but my dude was Jake the Snake.
Yes, he was actually inducted also, but I think he's dead as well.
I think he is too.
Yeah, he got inducted also. So they were showing clips of him as well.
DDT was the ish, yo.
Yeah, dude, and it would always creep me out because after they would do it, he'd take out the snake and he'd put the snake on top of him and everything.
That was great. I used to love
that. And dude, I got so much nostalgia just sitting there watching the Hall of Fame that I spent probably a good portion of Sunday just watching old matches, old WrestleManias, old pay-per-view events and stuff of some of my old favorite wrestlers, because all of a sudden my son Jaden was like, "Oh, I love the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, Dad, I love Macho Man Randy Savage." He was like, "Dude, I want to see him." I was like, "Son, he's dead. He's not gonna come on stage and accept the award. He's already dead." He was like, "Oh, but Hulk Hogan's still alive." I was like, "Yeah, he's still alive."
Dread for all you Hulkamaniacs out there.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was inducted also, because he's always been a big WWE fan also, and he's been
didn't know that.
He actually what's his name, Bruno
Mars?
No, not Bruno Mars. There was an old There was an old wrestler, Bruno something, I forget his whole name, but there was one of the wrestlers from the WWE back in the day that was actually one of the judges on Arnold when Arnold became Mr. Universe.
Right.
One of the wrestlers was actually a judge during that Mr. Universe contest, and he was one of the judges that voted for Arnold, and Arnold knew about him back then. Bruno Santana, yes, thank you, Carlton. Bruno Santana, that's his name.
Yes, remember Bruno Santana? I do.
Yes, Bruno Santana was one of the judges at that Mr. Universe that voted for Arnold, and Arnold remembered that. They became really close friends after that contest, and he was they always worked out to get a lot of the wrestlers worked out with Arnold all the time. So Arnold's always been a big fan. He's been in and out of WrestleMania events here and there, doing little things and stuff. They had another Japanese wrestler, I forget his name, that got inducted also. That Ric Flair was there also, because Ric Flair did a lot of wrestling in Japan. And so it was interesting to see a lot of those guys. Bret Hart was there. He was somebody I thought would never end up back in the WWF, because that was actually, and I don't know if you know this, Jay, because I don't know if you watched it back then, but Bret Hart, one of the times that when Bret Hart left the WWF was real. They had a match where it was like a surprise even to Bret Hart that he was supposed to lose a match in, I think, WrestleMania to Bret Michaels. And no, not Bret Michaels, Shawn Michaels. And he lost the match, the pay-per-view match, and he didn't expect that he was going to lose it, because I think they were in Canada, and he got pissed off. And he walked out of the arena. He spit in the owner's face. I think he hit him or something, and he left, and he got fired right there on the spot, of course. But that was a real moment, and from that point on, I don't think Bret Hart wrestled in the WWF for for almost like a decade, a little bit longer than a decade or something like that. So, you know, it was a lot of bad blood between him and the WWF for a long, long time. Yeah, that's what it was called, the Montreal Screwjob. And it was interesting. I forget how many years ago it was that they actually mended fences and they actually brought him back into the WWE. And they're starting to do that. A lot, you know, they burned a lot of bridges back in the day with a lot of wrestlers on how they used to treat them. And it was interesting to see why what's his name, Kevin Nash, was inducted, because they were saying, do you remember watching did you ever watch any of wrestling when they had the WCW Monday Night Raw War?
Yep,
On
I
TV?
used to watch some of those. Yep.
So they were saying when NWO first jumped off, and they had Kevin Nash and what was the other dude's name, the big dude?
Big Sexy.
Yes, Big Sexy.
Oh my God, I can't remember. I still remember that.
You know who I'm talking about, because he was at the Hall of Fame thing as well. But they were basically saying that moment basically changed wrestling, you know, essentially to what it is today, because Kevin Nash, when he left the WWF and signed on with WCW, he actually signed a contract, a multi-year contract, so that they could, you know, so that he would actually get guaranteed money. And that was unprecedented at the time. Nobody had a contract back then. Everyone was paid per event. So it was, you know, so it was one of those things where if you didn't show up that day and you weren't at that event, you didn't get paid. And it was interesting to see the other girl, Alundra Blaze. She was there during the WCW days as well. And she used to wrestle in WWF, and she was the ladies champion at the time. And she signed on with WCW, and they were like, she started the whole WCW WWF war, because she came on the show, took her WWF title, and threw it in the trash can, like on live TV. Right?
I don't want this shit.
Right, and she signed on with WCW that day. So, you know, they were like, she started the war. So it was interesting to see her there being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as well. And yes, I did hear about that. Urek was talking about recently Rey Mysterio accidentally killed some guy in the ring, like last week, I think it was.
Yeah, you know what? Z was showing me that. She was like, hey, Jay, this guy they were wrestling and he just died. I'm like, really?
Dude, I'm telling you.
And he was like there, and he didn't move, and I was like, "What?" I thought it was fake at first.
No, dude, they have to. As much as wrestling is fake, it's very difficult, because I mean, it's
those are some precision moves. You got to be a really good athlete to pull that off.
Right. So Rurek was like, it's 100% accident. It was, because you know, all it takes is for you to land a move incorrectly and fall off something the wrong way, and kablooey.
Or somebody even move in a bad direction.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that happened to John Cena. You know, he came off the top. He like broke his neck. He like busted like 3 or 4, you know, sacks in his neck, and he was out for like almost a whole year because of that. So it happens all the time, man. He was like, it caused a clot, caused a stroke, and all this other kind of stuff. It was crazy. I was. Dude, it's just crazy sometimes to hear about some of the injuries and stuff that happens, you know, with some of the wrestlers and everything. That was definitely unfortunate. But Lord have mercy, ladies and gentlemen. Just when we thought we were, you know, getting all
just when you thought you was safe.
time goes fly when you having fun. Lord have mercy. Look at what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for being here with us. I'm sorry we are out of time. As always, your boy Bunny 3000. Check us out, heatmag.com/Geekswagg to watch all past episodes. I'm here. Dirty Hell Mato's here. Check us out. Is. And Lord have mercy. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thanks to the ladies of the round table. And we got to get out of here. Sorry, people. Peace. Peace.